everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I have a pretty exciting video actually, and it's one I've been meaning to film for months. It is another brand testing video. I have done a couple of these before. I've done Elf and I have done Iconic London, and I really enjoyed doing them, and I really enjoy watching videos like this as well. So I thought I'd do another one, and this time I am doing AziomX Cosmetics, which is a UK brand. They're cruelty free. I'm pretty sure most of their stuff is vegan as well. I know a lot of the stuff on it says vegan. I don't know if that's the whole range, but it does say on the back like vegan on some of this stuff. So yeah, if that's your bag, then that is a good thing. This is the look I came up with. It is a bit crazy over the top. Not all of the kind of colours go together, but I used as many products as I could to show you. So if you'd like to see what I thought of all these products on my face right now and how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So I've got pretty much a whole face of makeup from AziomX. I didn't have an eyeshadow primer, so I've already put a bit of Urban Decay primer on, and I'm going to do my eyes first. So the first thing I'm going to use is this little palette, which is the Fall in Love eyeshadow palette, and it's just got a load of like really nice warm toned eyeshadows in there. It will probably be a very good autumn palette, but the colours are still pretty anyway. So I'm just going to take this shade down here, if you can see, yes you can, to set the primer on my lid. And next for my transition colour, I'm going to take this shade here on a fluffy crease brush. I do have some brushes that I got as well, but there's only one eye brush in the whole set, so I'm going to have to use some of my own as well. So that first shade, as a first impression, has gone on pretty nicely. It didn't need a lot of building really, and it's blended pretty well. So far so good. So I think I'm going to use some of the AziomX brushes now. So it comes in I got a kit. It comes with 5 brushes, so like 3 face brushes, a little angled brush that you can use for brows or liner, and then one little like eye brush as well. And it also comes with a little sponge, so I'm going to be using all these throughout the video. I think next I'm going to take this shade and use my little AziomX brush, see what that's like, and take that also into the crease. The pigmentation of these is good actually. Sometimes with drugstore eyeshadows I kind of expect to have to build them up a bit, but this is going on pretty nicely. This brush is okay. I could do with it being a bit fluffier. It's not the best kind of blending brush. I don't feel like I've got a really good transition there, so I'm going to go back in with a different brush in a moment and kind of blend things out a little bit. If you can hear lots of meowing in the background, it's because I got a new kitten. To be fair, there's a bit of a sad story behind it, because I had 2 cats before, and sadly one got hit by a car and we lost him, and the house felt really empty without him, so I got a new little kitten. Obviously she'll never like replace him as such, but it's kind of filled the gap a little bit, and she's adorable and really cute, and yeah, she's great. So next I think I'm going to take a bit of this red shade here and just add a little bit of that into the crease as well. That looks like quite a good pigmented colour. Just to add a bit of a red tone to it, I guess. I've no idea what kind of look I'm going for at the moment. I am just kind of seeing where it all goes. Yeah, that's decent pigmentation. See, normally I'd go for a light colour on the lid, but I'm kind of thinking I might go dark because I have some like toppers, and I feel like the toppers might look better over a darker colour. So I'm going to take this almost black colour here and pack that on the lid. And this is going to be a good test of pigmentation as well, isn't it? This definitely isn't like the blackest black I've ever used, but it doesn't look like that in the pan anyway. So maybe it's meant to be like a softer black. So as a first impression, I am fairly impressed with this little palette. It was very affordable. I think it was about £6.50, so not expensive at all for 10 eyeshadows. I like the colours in the palette. I think they're kind of, if you like warm tones, you'll like this basically. And yeah, for the price, I think the pigmentation is very good. The black is not amazing, but again, I mean, I'm not sure it's meant to be like a really black because it doesn't look that in the palette anyway. It's more of a charcoal grey as such. But yeah, so far so good. I'm impressed with this. So the next thing I want to try is this little holographic eyeshadow topper. And yeah, they've got some quite cool new products out like this at the moment that I thought looked really interesting. So I thought I'd give this a go. And it's basically just like a cream kind of eyeshadow that I guess you're meant to put on top of existing eyeshadow as it's a topper. I'm not quite sure the best way to apply this, so I'm just going to kind of go straight onto the eye and see what happens. Oh wow, that's a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be. Well, that definitely packs a punch. Like I said, much more than I thought it would. Let's see if it blends out at all or if it's a bit of a pain. It doesn't seem to want to blend that much. Just seems to be like spreading glitter around as such. Maybe if I use my finger. So this stuff, it is nice, but it is quite difficult to use. So if you're confident, then I would probably recommend it. I struggled a bit. I'm definitely going to experiment with it more. I feel like it'd be really good for like a proper sharp cut crease. That's not quite the look I've gone for today, but it's not exactly blended either. But yeah, it does look really pretty, just a bit hard to use. So I'm going to leave my eyes there for a minute and move on to my face now. I got a primer that's in like a stick form, and I've never used a primer in a stick before, so this should be interesting. This is the All Night Long Anti-Redness Primer, so obviously it is green. I don't know the best way to apply this. It's got a strange texture. It kind of feels like it melts away into nothing a little bit once you rub it in. It's got a slightly silicone-y texture as well. It has got a bit of a green hue to it, but if you've got any kind of severe redness like me, then this ain't gonna cover it. Let's be honest. See, I'm not completely blown away with this initially, but we'll have to see how other products go on top of it. Now for some real colour correcting. This is the colour correcting wand, obviously the green one again. This is a product I have anyway. You may have seen me use it on my channel before, and I do really like it, so this one is already tried and tested. I'm going to try blending it in with this little sponge. It's very different to my beauty blender, like it's a lot denser and it hasn't kind of expanded much at all when I wetted it. So I'm not sure I'm loving this sponge so far. It's very hard, but we'll try it with the foundation as well and see how it goes. Speaking of foundation, I got the All Night Long medium coverage foundation. I got the shade 2, which is Cashew. It looks quite yellow actually. It might not be the best colour for me. And this, I'm not sure if I just said it's meant to be medium coverage, so it might not give me quite the coverage I want, but I guess we'll find out. So there are these two brushes that came in the kit that could potentially be used for foundation. There's obviously this flat one. I don't really like flat brushes for foundation, so I'm probably not going to use that. And there is this kind of flat topped one, so we'll see what that's like, and if it's no good, just to give the foundation a chance, I'll use one of my existing ones. Yeah, this is better than the sponge. So yeah, first impressions, it's not quite the coverage I look for, but then again, I do quite like quite a lot of coverage, and it doesn't claim to be a full coverage foundation. It's not the smoothest finish. I feel like any little dry patches it's kind of clinging onto a bit, so I don't think this would be much good for you if you have really dry skin. Mine's a bit oily, so it's kind of, I can get away with it, but it's not my favourite ever finish of foundation, if you know what I mean. See if the coverage will build at all. So it has built a little bit. So the coverage isn't terrible. I don't hate the foundation, it's not completely horrible, but I have got better. Now for concealer, I have the All Night Long Full Coverage Concealer, so I'm hoping this is going to cover up all of my sins. Now let's try this sponge out one more time. I'm not convinced it's going to be great, but just for the sake of the video. I'm not sure this is the best kind of shape to get under my eyes. I'm actually going to go in on the other eye and just finish off this side with my normal sponge, because I really don't like that one. So it does say full coverage. I'm not sure it's got amazing coverage, and it is creasing on my under eyes quite quickly, if you can see under there. I do have very creasy under eyes anyway, so that is not necessarily a fault of the concealer. But I would say, like the foundation, it is a little bit dry looking, like it hasn't gone on really smoothly. The colour's not terrible, but yeah, again, not my absolute favourite. So now let's try and bake my under eyes so they don't crease anymore. This is the Ready Set Smooth powder, which is like a loose translucent powder. Desperately trying to get rid of these creases before I set them in, but I don't think it's going to happen, so we'll just see what happens. So while that's baking, I have something I'm really excited about. These are the Liquid Chrome Highlighter Drops. What shade did I get? I got Beam Me Up, which is kind of like a light gold, and these look like, it's quite similar to the Iconic London drops, but obviously these are much more affordable, so I'm hoping these are going to be as good. But we'll pop a bit on and see how it performs, because that's the important thing at the end of the day. So that's certainly quite a blinding highlight, and it's not blending the best over this foundation, but I kind of feel like that's more the foundation than the drops, to be honest with you, because that has left a pretty nice sheen on my face. So just for kind of testing purposes, I am going to set my face lightly, and I think, should I use this brush or should I do, I think I'll save this brush for bronzer. So let's get my normal setting brush. I don't always like setting my whole face with like loose powder. I feel like it's hard to control the amount you're getting. Yeah, my face does feel really quite dry at the moment. I don't think this powder is necessarily bad. I will have to test it for flashback, but I think it's more the foundation feeling kind of dry in the first place that's making it like that. Brush off the bakage. So I'm going to go back in with my little Fall in Love palette. I think I'm going to kind of change the colours up a little bit. I think I'm going to take this red and put that underneath my eye. Then I think I might try a bit of this shade up here that I haven't used yet. And then a little bit of the kind of charcoaly colour on the outer corner as well. No, I forgot to do was liner. I got this On Point liner as well. I normally do liner before my base because I'm not great at it. So let's maybe try and just do a, not so much of a wing, just a little flick of liner. So my camera cut out then. Don't know what recorded and what didn't, but basically I was saying it's got a very nice point to it. It's quite easy to control. It's not too dry for a felt tip liner, because I do find sometimes felt tip liners can kind of pull on the skin a bit, but this one I found it didn't, so that's good. So yeah, this, as far as liners go, isn't bad. It's pretty black, not too patchy. I'll have to see like if it cracks or anything throughout the rest of the day. So me saying I'm not going to do a wing turned into me doing two massive, pretty crap, pretty wonky wings. So yeah, and I can't really clean them up properly because I've got the rest of my face already on, which is really quite annoying. But yeah, anyway, moving on. That is not the liner's fault, that is just me. I did also get kind of a pencil liner. I got a purple one because I've got loads and loads of black ones, so I thought let's try a different colour. So let's see how that goes in the waterline. I feel like if I'm going to have a colour in the waterline, I want it to be really pigmented. Don't know if this one is. So yeah, the liner's not horrible. It did take a bit of building up to get kind of the pigmentation that I wanted, so by no means is it like amazing, but I mean, for the price it's not that bad. You can get kind of a nice effect out of it. It is a little bit glittery, which I don't know if I love or not. I probably just prefer like a nice bold purple kind of colour in the waterline, but yeah, anyway, it's not terrible. And this Glitter Bomb eyeshadow, I really don't know how to use it other than putting it in my inner corner. So this shade is called Oh Snap, and this is basically meant to be like a liquid glitter eyeshadow. So I guess like the Stila Magnificent Metal, the Glitter and Glow ones. So let's put a little bit in the corner. Oh, it is glittery. So I think this time I'm just going to try using a brush, see if I can get it like a little more soft. So I've put some on and it's kind of dried, and I've gone back over it again. It is peeling up a bit, so it's a bit kind of finicky. Hello! My kitten's just come. This is little Aria. You're 12 weeks old, aren't you? And you don't like being held very much. But yeah, she's very playful and naughty, and she's gorgeous and adorable, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yeah, obviously I haven't fully tested it because I've only put it on the inner corner, but it certainly packs a punch. It's very glittery and very pretty. I really want to try doing like a full-on glitter cut crease with this, so if that's something you want to see, then definitely let me know in the comments. But yeah, hopefully that's a good one. So I didn't see any false lashes on Barry M's website, so I'm just going to go in with mascara. This is the Lash Vegas 2 Black Mascara. I can't remember what the claims were this were for. Does that make sense? I don't think so. I can't remember what the claims were for this mascara on the website, but we'll see what it's like. So the one's quite fairly thin. I feel like I can get it right in there. So I feel like this is making my lashes really like defined and separated. It's not giving a huge amount of like volume or length. I feel like if I could get that kind of definition with more length, then I would be happy. Now let's move on to my face. So I got this little Chisel Cheeks contour kit that I'm going to use to contour with. So it's got the lighter shade, it's like a highlighting shade, a bronzy shade and a contour shade. I'm not going to use this bronzer, that does look quite dark, because I have got another one. So I'm just going to kind of look at the highlighter powder and the contour. I don't really want to put too much more powder on my face. I never feel like these highlighting powders work that well for me, to be fair. I just like to use a bright concealer under my eyes most of the time. Yeah, don't feel like that did much, but Let's try the contour shade. So it's not the worst colour I've ever tried. Let's see how it kind of blends in. I don't feel like that's terrible. It is a fairly dark colour. Obviously I am reasonably pale, and I maybe went in a bit heavy-handed there. So this little kit is by no means bad. Obviously I haven't really tried the bronzer colour, and I never really get on with these light powders, so, but the contour I'm not too mad with. Like, it's not the most amazing thing in the world, but if you're looking for a cheap contour kit, this isn't bad. Now for some bronzer. I have got the Afterglow Light Bronzer. I'm going to use that with this little brush, I think. I'm normally very much a matte bronzer girl, but this does have a bit of a shimmer to it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not seeing a huge amount going on. Oh no, it is building up now. This brush isn't too bad. It's fairly soft and fluffy. I don't think it's my favourite bronzer brush, but again, if you're on a budget, it's not too bad. I feel like I may have gone a little bit overboard with this bronzer. It's not bad actually. It's a bit glowy, which is quite nice. Like I said, I'm normally a matte bronzer kind of girl, and I just kind of put the glow in with the highlights, so this isn't something I'm that used to. It's a bit alien to me, but I think I like it. This might be something I have to kind of go away and have a think about and see whether I like it if I use it again. So yeah, the jury's out on that one. I also got this little blusher palette with 4 little blushes in it. So we've got one here that looks like it's got a bit of a shimmer, and the rest are matte, and some more peachy tones and some more pinky tones. What colour am I going to go for? I feel like I've got quite a lot of redness peeking through, so I might go for more of a peachy tone. Just because I don't want to accentuate the redness too much. I don't know if that has done much. Oh no, it has. It definitely has. It's kind of hard to say what I think on this blusher because the foundation has separated so badly underneath. I'm finding it hard to kind of say what the blusher is like because it looks so rubbish where the foundation is. I mean, as far as I can see, it's not bad. But again, just this foundation, it's not helping me out here. So next, let's see if we can save it all with some highlighter. So I got the illuminating highlighter palette, which comes with 3 shades, a white kind of shade, a more pinky shade, then a more bronzy shade. Let's try the pinky shade because I don't wear pinky highlighters all that often. Perhaps for a reason, but I feel like that is quite nice actually. Obviously we're not seeing it on its own here because I've got the illuminating drops in this part of my face. Let's like try it on my forehead where I've not got any other illuminator. Certainly does give you a glow. Wouldn't say it's the most blinding highlight I've ever used, but that's not always what you're going for, you know. What else have we got to do? So we've got to do brows. I got this little brow kit, Shape and Define medium to dark, which actually comes with a little mini pair of tweezers, which is really cute. I'm not going to use that today because I'm not going to put my eyebrows basically. So it comes with a wax and 2 powders, a lighter and a darker one. So I think I'm going to start off with the wax with this little brush that I got in the brush set. It does come with a little brush, but I never find these are that great anyway. So I feel like for a shade that's meant to be medium to dark, this isn't quite as dark as I would want it, to be honest. It's quite warm toned. So not my absolute favourite colour, but we have still got the powder that looks a lot darker to try, so give that a go in a minute. It's quite a creamy consistency. I feel like it might smudge a little bit, which I'll have to be careful of. Let's put a bit of powder over the top. That is better. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, definitely be careful with this powder. It's quite potent. What are you doing? Stop it. Someone's being naughty again, aren't you? Okay, aside from me like going a bit crazy with that brow, the powder has kind of saved it a little bit. They're quite full on, these brows, not gonna lie. I'm gonna go and blend them out a little bit in a second. The colour with just the wax I really didn't like, but the powder has definitely darkened it up and saved it a bit. So this definitely isn't like my favourite brow product I've ever used, but it's okay. So final couple of things really. Now lips, I got a few different products. So I got a lip kit, the Matte Me Up lip kit. This is in the shade Ride or Die, and I guess these are like the Kylie lip kits, so it comes with a liner and a liquid lipstick. I got a holographic lip topper. Again, this doesn't really look holographic, more iridescent, but there we go. And I also got a Gloss Me Up lip gloss in the shade Peekaboo as well. So I think I'm going to start with the lip kit. Let's start with the lip liner. This does look like a nice colour. So it's not the most creamy lip liner I've used, but it was very easy to kind of put on, and it has lined my lips nicely, so no complaints there. And now for the liquid lipstick. This smells good. It feels a nice thin consistency. So it's still drying down at the moment, but it seems to be drying fairly quickly. It's going matte quite fast, so that is nice. It does seem to be drying to a very matte finish, so obviously if you're buying a matte lip kit, then that's what you want, isn't it? So yeah, so far so good. I'm just going to kind of let it dry down, then we're going to try the lip topper over the top. So that seems to be pretty much dry now. I've made a bit of a mess around this corner, but anyway, let's carry on. So this is the holographic lip topper, which I guess is just kind of like a clear coat to go over the top. It doesn't look holographic from the tube, it looks iridescent, but excuse me. Let's try it anyway. Oh, it is quite pretty. So it is quite thick, and obviously it's like a gloss, so it's not going to dry down or anything. I'm not sure it'd be the most practical thing to wear, but it does look pretty. It's like giving my lips a nice kind of iridescent sheen to them. It's a bit sticky, so I'm not sure it's something I'd want to wear like all day on my lips, but maybe just for an evening, or like if I'm going to Instagram, this would be a good thing to wear, you know? Lips off and foundation touched up. Let's try the lip gloss. This is the Gloss Me Up lip gloss in the shade Peekaboo. So it's quite pigmented. It smells really nice. It's got like a really fruity smell. I know not everyone likes scents, but in lip products I don't mind it. So the gloss is not bad. It's pretty pigmented. It's not the most kind of smoothly pigmented though. Like there are a few little patches where you can kind of still see through the lip gloss, but that is me being very picky. It smells really good. It's cheap. it's got good pigmentation and it's not too sticky, so I think the lip gloss gets a thumbs up. And the final item I have to show you is the Flawless Mist and Fix Makeup Setting Spray. This is the matte, and this is matte finish. I always find setting sprays hard to kind of judge on the first go. I take quite a long time to decide if I like them or not, but we'll give it a go anyway. I'm hoping it might kind of put a bit of life back into my face where the foundation is kind of quite dry. What's the spray like? Seems like a fairly alright spray, especially for a drugstore product. So yeah, I like the spray on this. It might have melted my makeup together a tiny bit, but nothing major. I mean, it was pretty dry anyway, so it had its work cut out. But yeah, I'll obviously have to see how it wears before I can tell you exactly what I think about this setting spray. But the same with everything in this video really. Everything I'm trying for the first time, so this is all kind of first impressions. I could change my mind on what I think about all of it. I will. If there's anything that is like majorly good and I reach back to time and time again, you'll always see it in like a favourites video, or I might post it on Instagram or something like that. So generally, if I use the products kind of long term, you'll probably hear about it. So anyway, kind of wrapping the video up now. I am fairly pleased overall with how everything's come out. I really like the eye products. I think those are probably my favourites, or the eyeshadow products, so that little palette, the holographic topper and the little glitter thing I really like. I also liked the highlighter drops. They were really pretty. These I very much like. So probably my least favourite products were the foundation and concealer. I just found they didn't have the coverage I wanted. This creased really quite badly under my eyes, and the foundation I found to be quite drying, and I have fairly oily skin anyway, so now my oils are kind of coming through, it is kind of melting in a bit better, and it might be the setting spray that's helping that as well. But yeah, I probably won't reach for this that often. So yeah, they're probably my least favourite. I did like the liquid lipstick as well actually. I think that has to go in my favourites, the little lip kit. But yeah, the eyes are the winner today, I think. Also, I really didn't like this sponge. I thought that was a bit rubbish. So anyway, that is everything I have to show you. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried anything from Barry M? If you have, let me know what your favourite products are or your least favourite products are. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!